And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the first 2 days of the Euros. We have been rather spoiled for goals, and whilst Liverpool isn't probably at the forefront of your minds at this moment in time as you are enjoying the Euros, there is still, and it's kind of my duty on LFC News to still bring you up to date with all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. We're obviously not going to kick the arse out of it, but of course we are going to be discussing some players that have been involved in international duty. There's a few players who were involved yesterday, whilst also going through some massive Virgil van Dijk news amid those £100 million Saudi claims. We'll go through that a bit later on, but of course the second day of the Euros did see another Liverpool player start and actually make history. Yes, Dijk Szoboszlai laboured throughout his history-making appearance as captain in Hungary's 3-1 loss to Switzerland, but still laid on a stellar assist. At 23 years old, 7 months and 21 days, Szoboszlai is now the youngest player in history to captain a side at the European Championships. The Liverpool midfielder wore the armband for Hungary in their Group A opener against Switzerland, having only lost once in their previous 16 games since taking over as captain in 2022. He did so in his natural attacking role, supporting striker Barnabas Varga, though through the £65 million signing from RB Leipzig looked far from his best. Throughout a tired display in Cologne, there were suggestions that Szoboszlai was still feeling the effects of an injury suffered in the final warm-up friendly against Israel. Despite that, he still managed to lay on a sublime assist as Hungary fought back into a game after going into 2-0 down at half-time. Picking up the ball on the left flank, Szoboszlai cut back onto his stronger right foot and curled a ball into the 6-yard box for Varga to head in. Unfortunately, though, that goal was not enough to inspire a meaningful fight back, and Breel Mbello added to his first half efforts from Kwadar Dua and Michael Abshire to seal victory for Switzerland late on. Stats via FotMob, which showed the joint most chances for his side, 2 and won all 4 for his ground duels, indicated that Szoboszlai was among Hungary's top performers. The eye test provided evidence on the contrary, with the 23-year-old bringing his frustrating close season to Liverpool from the Euros. Having suffered defeat in their opening game, Hungary now face a battle to reach the knockout stages of this summer's tournament. Elsewhere in Group A, of course, Germany thumped Andy Robertson's Scotland 5-1. Next up for Hungary is a clash with Germany on Wednesday, and then Scotland will be taking on Switzerland. So Dijk Szoboszlai, to be fair, I watched this one. My girlfriend's Swiss, so I was watching it with their family, obviously keeping an eye on Dijk Szoboszlai, and to be fair, I did think anything that was good that was there for him was not too bad, but yeah, it did look a bit leggy, and Hungary overall wasn't that great. I did feel like Switzerland performed pretty well. Now, moving on to the other side of the world, it was an eventful night for Luis Diaz as he scored for Colombia in a 3-0 win over Bolivia, but was subject to a bad challenge that led to 2 red cards being shown. Colombia's final friendly before the Copa America wasn't quite as relaxed as they would have wished, as 2 horror players were sent off following a bad tackle by Hector Soler on Diaz. Before the incident, it had been smooth sailing for manager Nestor Lorenzo's side as Colombia went 3-0 up in the first half. After Fluminese's Johan Arias put them ahead early on, Diaz set up their second, cutting inside and scoring accurately another John Cordoba, who manoeuvred himself well to score. Things got even better for Diaz when he showed close control to shift the ball onto his right and finished calmly inside the box for Colombia's third. With the opposition 3-0 up, Bolivia were frustrated, Cuellar in particular, who flew into Diaz far from behind in the 67th minute. Thankfully, though, Diaz avoided serious injury, but his teammates were still incensed. The following fracas saw punches thrown by Crystal Palace's Daniel Munoz towards Bolivia striker Menacho. In the end, both were sent off, while Kelleher and Matthias Uribe escaped with yellow cards. While the player could have done damage with the reckless nature of his tackle, he didn't actually make bad contact with Liverpool's number 7. With his work done, Diaz was then replaced by Santiago Arias in the 77th minute at the field in Connecticut, USA. The 3-0 victory over Bolivia was Colombia's last warm-up game before the upcoming Copa America. They begin their tournament on June 24th with a match against Paraguay in Houston before taking Costa Rica on June 28th. Neutrals have to wait until July 3rd, though, for the most exciting prospect of the group game when Colombia play Brazil at the San Francisco 49ers Stadium. So yes, guys, that is that for the sort of Copa, or the other side, and the Copa America hasn't kicked off yet, but the start of that up and coming. But Luis Diaz avoiding injury, but a bit of a chaotic game in that match as they prepare for the Copa America. There's been a lot of talk with regards to the Euros. You guys had your say on who you want to win the Euros, or who you think is going to win the Euros. What do you think with regards to Copa America? Who do you think is going to win the Copa America this time around? The stated, let me know down there in the old comment section below. Now let's go on to some massive Virgil van Dijk news, which has eased concerns as the club have officially dismissed reports. Yes, despite claims the Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr have held talks with Virgil van Dijk's representatives over a move, Liverpool have now insisted that they have not been contacted. Van Dijk will enter the final year of his contract at Liverpool this summer, and as such his future on Merseyside has come into question. For his part, the Dutchman has pledged his ongoing commitment to the Reds, with suggestion being that he would be eager to extend his terms at Anfield. Talks over any new deal have been put on hold, with both player and club focus on matters at this latter stage, but negotiations will likely take place in the near future. Nevertheless, reports in Saudi Arabia this week claim that Van Dijk's camp had met with Al Nassr following inquiry over his availability. Spanish publication Marca went on to claim that Al Nassr's general director had offered a contract that would make the Dutchman the highest paid defender in the world. However, according to inside Liverpool sources, club sources insist they have not been contacted over any bid from Liverpool. It stated, Liverpool have not received any expressions of interest from Al Nassr and Van Dijk and are planning on the Holland international remaining at the club next season. Journalists also add that the club are keen to accelerate talks with Van Dijk along with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah, whose deals also expire in 2025. Of course, though, Liverpool have dismissed suggestions of contact with Al Nassr. That is not to say that Van Dijk's representations have not necessarily been in touch, though the traditional process of a transfer stipulates an agreement with clubs before a player, that is never actually how it works. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, of course, that's the Liverpool came out that saying that they've not been contacted in regards to the Van Dijk stuff. And again, our priority at this moment in time from inside club sources is that they do want him to stay next season and extend his terms. Whilst his contract does expire next year, Liverpool do want to try and tie up his terms now and not let any of the trio that deals expire at the end of next season to run out. So whilst Virgil van Dijk is the plans right now, if he doesn't agree a new deal, then we could probably cash in on him. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you think if Virgil van Dijk doesn't sign a new deal, would you think that Liverpool should cash in on him for a big £100 million plus deal this summer for Al Nassr? As stated, let me know down there in the old comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.